Elvis Reborn. Loudly crying face fire Filipino janitor's voice shocks the entire Ireland's Got Talent stage. Miguel Santos never expected the spotlight. In fact, he spent most of his nights avoiding it. At 47, with tired shoes and an even more tired heart, he worked as a janitor in a quiet shopping center in Dublin. Every evening after the stores closed, while he swept the floors and emptied bins, he hummed softly, old Elvis tunes his father used to sing back in the Philippines. It was the only time his voice felt free, echoing gently through the empty hallways like a secret he had kept hidden for far too long. But one winter night, while Miguel was wiping down a bench near the food court, a young girl named Aileen stood nearby, listening. She had been waiting for her mother to finish a late shift at one of the stores. When she heard Miguel singing, "Can't Help Falling in Love," her eyes widened. "Sir, you sound exactly like Elvis," she whispered, stunned. Miguel laughed shyly, brushing off the compliment. "Ah, no, no. Just an old habit from home." But Aileen shook her head. "No, you don't understand. You have to audition for Ireland's Got Talent." Miguel almost dropped his mop. Him? On TV? Singing in front of thousands? The idea felt ridiculous. He hadn't performed on a real stage since he was 20. Life had been too busy with bills, sacrifices, and sending money home. Dreams didn't survive long when responsibility walked in. But Aileen didn't give up. Every night for a week, she waited for him, encouraging him, insisting that the world needed to hear his gift. One evening she handed him a small folded paper, the audition form, already filled out except for his signature. His heart tightened. No one had believed in him like this in years. He signed it. A month later, Miguel stood backstage at Ireland's Got Talent, wearing his only suit, a simple black one he had bought secondhand. His hands trembled as he held an old, worn-out rosary his mother had given him before he left the Philippines. He clutched it tightly, praying he wouldn't embarrass himself. He wasn't doing this for fame, he was doing it because a little girl believed in him when he no longer believed in himself. When his name was called, he stepped into the blinding lights. The audience murmured. "A janitor? On this stage?" Even the judges exchanged curious looks. But one person in the crowd, Aileen, sat in the front row, beaming proudly. Simon Cowell leaned forward. "So, Miguel, what are you going to sing for us today?" Miguel swallowed. "A song from Elvis Presley, sir." The audience chuckled softly. Another Elvis impersonator, they probably thought. But then the music began. Soft. Delicate. Familiar. And when Miguel opened his mouth, the entire theater froze. His voice wasn't just similar, it carried the soul, warmth, and heartbreak of Elvis himself. Every note shook with sincerity, the kind born not from imitation but from a lifetime of longing and sacrifice. The audience leaned in as though pulled by an invisible thread. Miguel sang as if the world around him faded away and only the music remained, glowing with memory and truth. Cameras zoomed in. Judges stared, stunned. What was happening didn't feel ordinary, it felt historic. Halfway through the performance, as the chorus soared, something unexpected happened. A ripple of emotion moved through the theater. People wiped their tears. Even backstage crew members stopped working, captivated. Miguel wasn't just singing, he was pouring out all the years he had spent unnoticed, all the love he had carried silently, all the dreams he had let slip away. His voice didn't just sound like Elvis. It sounded like hope rediscovered. But the most powerful moment came near the end. Miguel noticed Aileen in the audience, her small hands clasped together as if she were sending him courage. Something shifted inside him. His voice grew stronger, brighter. And in that moment he realized something he hadn't allowed himself to feel in decades, he mattered too. His dreams had value. His voice deserved space. He belonged on that stage as much as anyone else. When the final note fell, the audience erupted. People stood, shouted, cried. The roar was overwhelming. Simon Cowell stood up. Speechless for a moment, before pressing the golden buzzer with a force that sent gold confetti exploding into the air like a shower of miracles. Miguel froze, unable to comprehend it. Tears streamed down his face. The audience chanted his name. Aileen ran onto the stage and hugged him tightly. But then Miguel did something no one expected. As the confetti settled, he stepped aside and guided Aileen into the spotlight. "This moment," he said, his voice shaking, "belongs to her too. She believed in me when I didn't believe in myself." The entire theater softened. It wasn't just a performance anymore. It was a reminder of the power of kindness, of how one small act of encouragement can change a life. That night, social media exploded with headlines: "Elvis Reborn. Filipino Janitor shocks the world." But Miguel didn't think of himself as Elvis Reborn. He was simply a man who had been given a chance to shine, not because of fame or luck, but because someone chose to see him. And somewhere in Dublin, people whispered a new kind of truth. Sometimes the greatest stars are born not on stages, but in the silent corners of life, waiting for a single voice of kindness to set them free.